For today's video, I'm going to be showing everything that's in my camera bag for 2025, and I would call this a very minimalistic edition just because I don't really have too much camera gear, but I've learned over the years what really matters and what don't. Sometimes for the camera gear, it really depends on your scenario if you're shooting video or photo. So what's in my camera bag kind of changes all the time, and I would want to show some of the essentials that I bring regardless of the trip. And when I say it's a minimalistic setup, I truly mean that. I don't have a bunch of cameras or lenses to swap around, and I really only use what I'm shooting with right now. So I'm gonna have to switch it just to show you guys. So now that I swapped main camera with the iPhone right now, let me introduce the Sony A7S III. I'm using the lens, which is a 24-7 G Master and f2.8. And I think this is a really great versatile camera just because the lens I have here, the 24, really allows me to get a more kind of wide landscape shot or for the city. And sometimes when I really want to get a more punched in close-up shot, I can zoom in. This will be really good for interviews or portraits or when I'm really far away from the subject. It has been a really good versatile camera, and the f2.8 gives me a really good shallow depth of field. And this camera is really great in low light scenarios. It shoots 4K and has a inside sight shot, which basically stabilizes your video footage, makes it less shaky, and it kind of crops it just a little bit. And if you're saying, oh, this is only good for video and not good for photo, I would actually disagree. Just because it has only 12 megapixels, it doesn't mean that it can't shoot good photos. I've been actually using this camera a lot to shoot photos during travels. So now that I switched the phone and the camera and we got the main objective out of the way, we can show a bit more of the fun details. I guess first we'll have the Nikon AF220. This is a point and shoot film camera, and I'm rocking the Godox 400 right now. This is honestly my go-to travel companion, just because if I'm not shooting content or things for YouTube and I just want to be enjoying in a moment and be with friends, this will be a way better option. It's not really in your face, blends in more of the background. I really love the whole process of shooting film. You really don't know what the photo looks like even after you take the photo. You have to wait maybe when the trip is done or go and develop your films to actually see the photos itself. So it makes that each photo really count. You have to make sure composition is good, the subject is in place. So it really makes you kind of be mindful of what photos you're taking, and you're not just on your phone, spamming a bunch of photos. So I think this is a really good alternative. It's nice and compact, and you can pretty much bring it anywhere. Another item we have here is basically a mini tripod. The brand here, for anyone who cares, it's called the Buddiesman. It is the MT-02. There's 2 levels of height adjustment. One, you can have it as low to the ground as possible, and second, if you twist this here, it will lock it and it will be a bit more higher position. Yeah, it's just really a handy tripod. This is the RGB video light, and this is pretty much a portable light that I can carry around. It has any color that you want, and also charges by USB-C, which is really handy. This is the WD Passport Ultra. It has 5 terabytes and it also connects with USB-C. The previous hard disk that I had, it didn't have USB-C. I guess it was kind of old, so every time I connect to it, I had to bring an adapter, and it was just too many dongles that I had to carry. And I think this is just an essential for any content creator, vlogger, photographer, especially if you're a videographer. You're eating up through those storage like crazy, so you really need to have at least a 5 terabyte hard disk. This is the Steampunk ZGRL-80, and this is also a very handy portable film light that I need, and it definitely packs more power than this portable light that I have. But the difference between this one and this one is that this doesn't have RGB. Another item we have here is the Godox flash attachment. you would attach it on top of your DSLR. And this is great, especially in low light scenarios. You would really need a flash attachment. I've actually only used it once in a client photo shoot. The client wanted me to shoot a more film kind of look, I guess, without using the actual film camera. And a lot of film photos you see at night, you can see that there's a flash, the subject is well lit, and the background is a bit darker. Having this flash attachment was essential. But besides that use case, I think if you're a photographer, this is just essential to have, especially if you're shooting in darker, low lit venues. The final item we have here, it is the Hexcal tech pouch. It comes in a lot of compartments. Inside this tech pouch, I have this SD card holder. I like to think this as the SD card cemetery. It pretty much is all the SD cards that I no longer use. Some of them are like 10, 12 years ago. They just either don't have enough gigabytes or I just have like better SD cards now. So I like to have like a physical archive, and it's just cool to see all the previous SD cards kind of laid out. And that kind of wraps up my 2025 What's in My Bag in a minimalistic edition. You don't need to have like 10 different lenses. You don't need to have a bunch of different lights. You kind of just need to pick what works for you and invest in quality items that can last you for a lifetime. And for the items that I chose, I think they're very versatile for different scenarios, for video or photo. And I hope I'll do this series maybe next year in 2026 edition, and maybe by the time next year my camera bag will be slightly different. I'll have tweaks for it depending on what I'll be doing next year. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope you get some inspiration from more minimalistic setup, and I'll leave all the links to the description below.